And so when you are here, beautiful souls, as a soul, you're perfect. You're only here allowing yourself to experience because you wanted to experience separateness from the wholeness. You wanted to experience aging, dying, left and right, because if there wasn't this duality, then you wouldn't be able to come back to who you really were and who you really are. And this is only one realm, one projected miasma that has to hold itself together with its storylines. And there are many more, and people who astral travel will tell you that. But like I said, you can believe in the 12 heavens here, and you can believe that that's your whole storyline, and I think storylines are eternal. And I've experienced that here now, not separate. So if my soul goes into the space of nothing, the void and rest, and it comes back here to create, I'm not breaking laws. I'm being who I am. I'm doing what I want to do as that projection of the soul, of God, if you want to call it that. The Alpha and Omega is God. The light and the darkness is God, because the darkness creates light by separating itself into something in matter in order to exist. Like, it's not deep out there science, though it can be explained with deep out there science, and people can argue. Science out there by humans is made to distract you, just as religion is, from the truth of who you are, that you're a perfect soul and you need to rest in that. Or you're going to be here playing in the miasma, or you're going to be going up your silver cord, and I'm the greatest black magician because I can off something, and I can. So what? I eat cows. I'd rather give the cow heart to the mound I'm working with than your flowers or your pickles or your peaches, because that's what I eat. So how is vegetables a sacrifice, or flowers, or anything else that's already here? No insult, this is just me and how I work. Oh, but you're into blood sacrifices. No, I'm not. I eat a hamburger. Do you eat hamburger? Do you breathe? Then you're breathing in dead people and everything that ever died here, which I'm not going to get into, because the darkness and the roots, and I love that story, and now therefore I'm going to be evil because I'm really psychotic and scared to death of knowing myself and living and dying, and I need your light, Sheila, and I don't care if I have to off you and step in your body to get it, which means I'm going to go back to my original design because I have enough wisdom to. And that's why people haven't been able to step in my body, though very high mages have tried, in druids, because sorry, you did that before and you ain't doing it again here, and you owe me, and also you're making your karma, and you're owing here. You're the one using the laws of this land that you worship external to yourself, and not the law of this land, of this earth that you created, to make debt and karma for yourself, because you believe in that, and therefore that's your story, and that's what you do. So you want as much power as you possibly can to project, which means you are separate from your soul. You have not tapped into your full essence and your full rest, which is nothing. And nothing is only scary when you come back here and you're like, oh my God, I was in nothing. I was nothing. I am nothing. I don't ever want to be nothing again, so I'm here creating. Why? So you can give up all of that and know that you are nothing, and it's peaceful and you're not scared of it. Death isn't scary. Getting there is. Also, being projected into other people's thoughts and designs in the Maya, in the miasma, and in their karma, not yours, is a horrible thing. But if you know, and someone like me can tell you, you are all that, you're safe no matter what happens to you, because you loves you, because your guru, your Atman guru, your supreme soul connected to the light up here and the glory up here, knows that it can come and go as a projection as it pleases, because it knows that it's itself. life is so simple. It's why, like the Hopi Indians and so many people that are just not into anything but the middle path of the soul, just like, let go, flow. When I can let go and flow and nobody's tanked me, I'm just like, whatever, I don't care about this place. I don't care about revenge. There is no such thing as revenge, by the way. So people who try to get it are weak bastards, and they're like a bunch of pea diddlers who someone else is using their body, and they were convinced that if they would just take the holy wood, that they could be a druid from the past and all powerful and a djinn and blah blah blah, or on the stories go, we created here. You can be a dragon, you can be anything but yourself, realized. That's right, you can be anything but yourself, realized. Go ahead, make your own day. Oh, but here is just a storyline and we're just here to play with it. Okay, so why can't you just play in it nicely? Oh, because I'm a new soul here. No, there's no such thing as new soul here. There's just projections of soul knowing itself and coming back to itself, or there is non-realization, because the Mayas here need you to be a fake player in their game. So are you real or not? I don't know whether you're real or not, and I don't care, because I'm self-realized, because I know that I'm that. Because when I went to, took the DMT, which now I make my own DMT from my lungs and my heart space, if I stay in that space, and I'm just blissed out. I just have these Buddha glow up moments. And I just come here and slap people around sometimes and are like, whoa, whatever. And you want to play this game of trying to off God, the soul, which I don't like to even call it God, because people grossified that word. The soul. The soul lives. The soul is living right here, right now, from the nothing. And came back to tell you that there's something in the nothing and it's beautiful and it loves you. And when you go to that nothing, logically, you're going to cry like a baby because you're going home to this love that pours out of your chest. And there is, I was dying recently, and I was like, oh, I'm going to face death blissed out this time. This is fun. And it was because of black magic, and because I opened my mouth and said something about the Gibberim and how to become a Gibberine. I don't know why it always comes out with an M when I say it. I really don't care. There's a reason for it. I'm not, not going to go down that figuring it out shit. I let shit come to me, and it comes to me. And when I'm in rest, and not caught up in the miasma and the mire and the who loves who and who doesn't like me and who has more power and who's going to hurt my kids or my grandkids or my niece or my... Gotta remain unattached, because soul unattached is like, you ain't hurting nobody, and they can't. Because what? Because they're under your authority. Because you recognize your authority as an eternal soul, and you recognize that anything that happens was that person's soul's choice, period. And again, I'm not excusing your lies here. Oh, you want the days of Saturn to return. Well, I'm sorry, but entropy, that's your story here. No, you can't go back to Continental Opal. You got here right now to work with, so increase your energy logically so you don't repeat the same patterns, bedoy. I'm sorry. But like I said, this is why this channel is called Spiritual Anarchy, because spirituality is a projection. All of it is. You're perfect, holy, righteous, divine. Get within that space where you're just nothing, and you'll have a glow up, and you'll complete what you need to complete for your soul, for God here right now. Oh, I'm an angel. If you're on this earth and you're saying you're an angel, you're a fallen angel. That's the storyline. Or you're a self-realized God, or, oh, I'm Zeus's child because I can communicate with lightning. Everything is plasma. Everything is lightning. Self-realization is like lightning, coming from nothing to something. Just stop putting your stories on everything. Walk from your center. And I can put stories on anything. I can tell you how to get out of the 12 levels of reality here, because they're not real. Get in your center. Cut it off. Stop playing games and up my silver cord. Yeah, you had a silver cord once it was connected to a woman like me called a mother. And why do you want to do that? Do you want this world to be your mother? That's fine, it can be. You can worship it as the goddess, and look at what it is. Look what it's become, because you can't be one with your soul. And play nice here. You got to go back to Saturn, to consonantal opal, to dead suns, to entropy, to oh, blah, blah, blah. I got to go feed on somebody else's light because I can't make my own. Wee, wee, woo, woo, woo. I took in a djinn. Oh, I took in a succubi because I didn't have any compassion for myself. And therefore yourself is pushed down below into the knees, as I've talked about this before, which Abraxas and these three triple gods all stuck together that everybody worships here, because they're pieces of the miasma puzzle stuck together to make a trinity, dark or light, or mix the three and be whatever. Once again, that will give you power here to play in the game. But what'd you really come here for? You won't know that until you become nothing, so that you can again become something, so that you can again bow to nothing, so that you can again become something. Life and death, life and death. Can you speed up the karmic cycle? Yes, bowing to your soul. That's why all the gurus out and are like, oh no, shit's coming down and ain't the way we pre-dictated that it would be. And yes, I prophesied for many years, and a lot of the shit I said is coming true, came true. It is, it's happening. I'm not paying attention to it. When trauma comes up from my past, I look at it, I sit in it, I express some feelings in it. I let my toes touch the water, and then I laugh at all of it, and I pull out, and I'm like, me again in my center. Who cares if I was one of the P. Diddleys that got diddled? Yeah. That's it here. That's not it here. That is so... People stuck here repeating the same dumb stories. Oh, I am the best magician. I am the head of the monad. I am the light of the lights. You're so vain. You probably think this world is about you. Yeah. And it is all about you until you realize who you are. And that all projections and all realities can come forth from you within here. And you don't have to hurt people to get it. You can just be balanced and blissed out in your own soul. Am I rich? No, not right now. By the world's standards. Am I rich? By spiritual standards? You bet your ass off. I own everything. Everything is me and nothing is me. And I can completely be content within that nothing, to the point that I open my eyes and I'm like, oh damn, I forgot I was here doing this. It's beautiful and I love it. And the only time I can't do it beautifully is when people come along and tank me, because that's the storyline here. Until that storyline is no longer part of my projected reality, and I clean that reality up. And people are afraid of you cleaning up their miasma and their realities and their archons and their religions here, because the energy is low in this age, in this yuga, in this organic matter that we choose to come and play in. And once that energy gets up too high, these things won't get to exist. They are literally playing a stupid game. And they're literally saying, oh, I choose to be dark, I choose to be light. No, you don't. You don't know your soul. You know somebody else's story. Oh, I'm an archon, I'm a worm, I'm bad, I'm a tree root. No, you're not. You're nothing. You are nothing. And until you become nothing, you're not really one with everything. And being one with everything is Maya here. So what are you saying? You're saying you're a projection. And when my people that I wrote within my storyline were tormenting me here so that I could become self-realized as who I am experiencing this now, because you have to experience A to get to B and C within your own storyline, because we're in this here. And so you're in some place in that here until you're not in it here, until you realize you are that, and that is okay, and infinity is okay, and darkness is okay. Darkness is rest. We're made to have times of rest, dark and light. It's normal, it's natural, it's good for you, enjoy it. Why do you turn it into curses? Because the realm here is low. The energy is low. And when you come here and realize that you can Be your own energy source, and you don't need people to be your food source, and you don't need to sneak into Sheila's bedroom because she's the light of the world at night and take her city set on a hill that can't be hid. You're a fool. You're taking my wisdom and my knowledge and saying you have none and you're stupid. Thank you. You just worshipped me as God. You just told me that I was God of your universe. And I'm telling you, your universe is nothing. And I just love it. It's not... Everybody gets so like, oh, Sheila, she's so stuck up on herself. No, this self is not me. Like, this self is your projection telling me what my self is because you don't know yourself. Yeah. And when I forget myself and don't know myself and let people tank me, or have fears or believe that I can be tanked because I get caught up in miasmas and storylines here. Even like I said, I have to be careful around holidays. I have to be careful around religion, astrology, tarot, and anything here, because I can get sucked into storylines, not staying within my center, within peace, within nothing, within the Buddha bliss that glows me up, while at the same time not getting so caught up in the Buddha bliss until I'm dysfunctional, because if I do that, I'll just leave here. Because I've been to that point before, where everything was me and I was everything, and the person that was trying to pop at me was literally like, don't leave yet, because their frickin' storyline depends upon me. Thank you. I don't depend upon you, and I never will. You will depend upon me. And if you think you're going to move in and take over my body, you're depending upon me. There's no separation, right? There's oneness. There is no revenge. No, you're right. There isn't. You're just hurting yourself because you're not separate from me. Because you're experiencing me, therefore, who is the highest currency? The highest white light? No, that's a side. The deepest dark bullcrap that you made up? No, that's a side. Complete rest is complete rest. And every entity in this world seeks that and wants it, and then is scared to frickin' death of it. So what are you? You're a projection unless you're okay with being nothing, and you can get within that space daily and express that, or you're going to lose touch with that because mind is a projection, and it will take over if you don't keep practicing this. But once you really literally are saved and your Jesus goes back to the Father and you're all one with the Father, and then the Father rules, the God, the soul rules, that's what that story is saying, all the stories, by the way, and you're Zeus's daughter, and you're not Di and a Diana inning because you have to be that in the storyline. No, you're not separate from it. And Zeus can't rise up, and plasma can't rise up, and all this can't rise up and be nothing without you, anything, without you being nothing. And so when you get to this point that you're not separate, none of this shit matters here. Sometimes I dabble in the games because I'm here, and if not, I get bored doing nothing. But also I have to be careful, because when I dabble in other people's storylines and energies, whether that be snake effigies and mounds, which are all over, by the way, and I'm living on, and people are looking for their treasures in, and the treasure is you. And our ancestors knew that, which is why they could live peacefully, but then entropy and giants and continental opal and the darkness and miasma and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It can just go ever on. So stay in your heart space. I am all my ancestors. I am not separate. I am not white, black, yellow, whatever. Jesus loves everybody. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in my sight, 'cause I am that. What does it matter what you project upon me that I am, that I am? Oh, and during Black Lives Matters, all I ever heard is like, oh, this, you could not say anything on the internet without being attacked by one side or the other, because they're all baloney. Have you ever been a slave in this lifetime? I have. Have you ever been puppeted? you're a slave to cushy. You're a slave to agendas. You're a slave to black is better because it's melanin. Well, how about you melanin your inside? Itches? Because your inside needs melanin, not just your outside. And that is what changes the mitochondrial DNA, which is why I'm a carnivore, because I need melanin on the inside too. Because when I was a child and was called the darky by my family, because I was, who cares? I was called the Indian, the Indio, the stubborn one. Yay, I think for myself. And I was always dark until I got kidney infections and was given the man's drugs, sulfur, sulfuric, the sulfur, the lower aspect, the smell, the stink, the black goo that people say they are because they took the man's medicine and don't know themselves. And I suddenly burnt, was white as a sheet all the time and burnt, was Dracula and burnt. And I didn't get it, and I just started getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And then I had to be a vegan, and then I had to be many things first, an herbalist, a midwife, a naturopath, blah, 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 blah. On and on we go down the, yes, it's interesting, thank you, I loved it. But I'm not putting your path down, I'm simply explaining my own blog. You know, so who giveth you the victory? Who's your victory? If Jesus is your path to find victory, because he said it's all in you, and you can take on the Christ and go back to the Father and be one with the soul and carry ever on and be eternally in heaven, you can be that, or you can be the church's predicted there. You ever see the church, the stained glass window? That's a monad, okay? That's a frequency for this domain, by the way. And you can vibe with this frequency and carry ever on, which I gotta stop. I'm getting too into stuff.